Hey guys, and welcome to the next episode of the Stagcast. This time around, we're going to be talking about the Star Wars Solo and Rogue One. We're going to start off with Solo first, and then after we finish with Solo, we will go and transition to, and where the fuck is he going? Fuck's sake. And then we're going to transition to Rogue One. Alright, let's begin. Obviously, with the film, Adrian, unmute your mic, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Bradley just like ran. What the fuck is he doing? He'll be back. Okay. Alright, first of all, so with Solo, it starts off very like a normal Star Wars film with like the whole long time ago in the galaxy far away, you get the gist. And it starts 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. So yes. So obviously you have the first opening scene, which yeah, what do you guys think of the opening scene?
I liked it.
Yeah, I thought the opening scene was good. It's like it's sort of foreshadowing Tim like being a good pilot and all that. So that's what I like. Yeah. And obviously you have the bit where he's like running away from the Lady Proxima as well. He's like dipping from her.
Yeah.
And then Han comes back and they're like, oh, what? Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the city, the whole like kind of wide shot of that. That was kind of.
It's
cool.
nice we got to see actually Corellia in like and see what it actually looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Han like escapes and gets captured and yeah, and gets sent back to Lady Proxima. What do you think of Lady Proxima as well? I kind of thought she was like a generic bad guy, like.
I couldn't remember it, to be honest.
that goes to show how like amazing she was as a character. All right. Oh, you've come back. Have you come back from the dead? Have you? What, did you have a coffin to dance to or something?
Yeah. I had to do a coffin dance to my Wi-Fi.
Do Wi-Fi?
So it decided to switch itself off. So I was like, I'm not having this.
Yeah, of course, it switches itself off as I'm doing my intro. I couldn't have picked a better time.
I mean, just use your Ethernet cable.
Yeah. Right, Bradley, you got the lady. You know the Lady Proxima scene. What do you think of her? What did you think of her as a villain?
She was interesting.
Yeah, she wasn't much character to her though. She was like a generic bad guy, like that.
Well, unless they do like another film to further explain her, but
I don't.
we'll
I mean, it all comes down to money at the end. So, how much money can we make out of this film? Oh, let's make an origin story about Darth Vader. We're bringing him back again. Fucking hell. But yeah, obviously you had a bit of like he meets Kira as well, which from watching Game of Thrones, I thought Kira was an interesting character. What do you guys think of her?
Yeah, she's interesting.
What do you guys think of like the guy who played Han as well? That's another thing to discuss.
I think he did a good. I actually think he did a good job.
Yeah.
I like the acting.
Like Harrison Ford told him a lot of stuff. And he was like, "Oh, you need just do it the way you want to do it," kind of thing. Like trying to be exactly like me is what you're saying.
So I do feel that there was like some scenes where he was a bit lacking, but there was like, most of the time he was pretty good at the.
Yeah. Well, they weren't going to drag Harrison Ford into another film.
get your 70-plus-year-old ass up there. Come on, boy.
Yeah, yeah. Get a couple millions to just do one. That scene in the Rise of Skywalker, he probably got paid like millions to just do that one damn scene. And after the bit, you have like the thermal detonator bit, which is sort of like a reference to Return of the Jedi when Leia was the bounty hunter pulled out of a thermal detonator. It was sort of a reference to that. What was it? Yeah. It's a thermal detonator, but it's not a thermal detonator. It's a rock, and he's pretending it is, which I thought was kind of funny. And obviously he escapes, and then it gets into the ship, and then into the not ship, the M68.
The speeder.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a speeder.
Yeah. It's a speeder, but it's called the M68.
I'm so right.
So yeah, they basically bugger off, and that's how to explain it. And then all of a sudden the stormtroopers turn up and they just start blasting them and all that. Judging from the script I'm looking at now, it's just metal scraping, grunts, Malok speaking alien language, growling. So yeah, and obviously they tried to get in, but they didn't have a IP chip. So yeah, Keep it moving. Then they try to escape. What do you guys think of like the try to escape bit as well?
I like that he went and conscripted himself.
Yeah. Because we knew, well, we didn't know. Don't think we knew that Han Solo was an actual pilot. A pilot till later. I don't know if he mentioned it. But
No,
yeah.
Because it kind of showed you when he was like, he was in the Imperial Emperor at the beginning.
The Imperial Emperor. What?
I fucking brain fart there.
The Imperial Emperor. What?
My brain just went.
The first galactic Imperial Empire. What? What the fuck is he? Well, yeah. Anyway, they
Say Imperial Jedi was.
Imperial Jedi.
Why not?
And then you got the whole like what was it? I'm trying to read it now. Coaxium. What the fuck? Oh yeah. We're trying to get like the They were talking about the what was it? The coaxium and stuff, and it's just sort of a foreshadow to what's going to happen next in the film, which is nice. Then you have someone grabbing Kira and dragging her back to the Crimson Dawn or whatever thing. Then she tells Han to run, which is a sort of a theme, I guess, for the film, was Han sort of running away. And he does it in he did it a lot in New Hope when he ran away from like them fighting, and then he came back. So and it goes to show Han's a very complex character that doesn't. He's in for himself, which is a bit like Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and probably this new character in the AC Valhalla as well. But after that, then you have the bit where he's going to join the Empire, be part of something and all that. There's a bit actually when people are talking about like someone talking about a rebellion or something, but Han's not interested. He's in it for money, and the Empire's probably the best way to make a fortune. So yeah, which I kind of like the idea of then they sort of have his own like sort of name, and it's what's your name, and it's like Han Solo, which is how that starts, which is okay.
What do you
guys think about that? How Han Solo got his name?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, it's just a way of him getting his own name.
Yeah, it has to be done. So you know.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, I like the transition to have you flying in no time, and then all of a sudden screaming, gasping, man screaming, and all of a sudden troopers falling. And it's like the battle scene. I thought that battle scene was very good actually. It was sort of like very like gritty and almost like a World War I sort of style of a battle. Yeah, like in the trenches and shooting.
They actually took inspiration from that.
Yeah, I know.
That was nice.
It's nice to see that Star Wars has always been like, you don't see the gritty bit, you see like this is shooting. You don't see much like people on the floor screaming. You don't see that.
This is go, lightsaber.
But obviously in this period you don't have like Darth Vader leading the charge or anything like that. But so you have that battle, and then you sort of like the introduction to these like people or like criminals that are inside the Empire, like sort of something that Han Solo wants to be in part of. But obviously they aren't actual Imperials; they're just like trying to get in there. And Beckett, you see this guy, this Beckett, who's like, it's like, oh, this is this badass like guy that Han Solo becomes one day. What was it? So yeah, you have the whole duel, then you have like the introduction to Tobias Beckett and all that, and then Han Solo sort of like gets a bit. Give me a question, like he sort of wants to know what's going on, and just all of a sudden, you want to live, Sparky? Shut the fuck up and do what I say. And then you have the whole battle and all that, and then eventually Han Solo realizes he realizes that they're not actual Imperial, and tries to do the right thing, which is what he did in Force Awakens, trying to bring Ben back to the Force, doing the right thing for the galaxy. Didn't work out, but but that we're not discussing that. And then he tries to like rat them out, doesn't go well, and gets thrown into a fucking pit. Which what do you guys think of? And then he's introduced to Chewbacca. So what do you guys think of that? Of how he meets Chewbacca?
That was a good scene.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
That's the way Chewbacca turns up.
you just kind of think, where the fuck is this guy? We need him. Oh, he's there.
Well, when they, I remember in the cinema when they said the beast, I was like, all right, okay, this is either gonna be like a fucking Rancor, like it was in Return of the Jedi, where it's gonna be Chewbacca or like a Wookiee or something, and that's how he gets his like relationship with the Wookiees. But yeah, obviously he fights a Wookiee. I felt it was a bit like convenient that Han Solo knew the fucking Wookiee language. Like it just felt so convenient. It's like, how the hell did he know that? Okay, that's what. Okay.
It's just one of Star Wars' confusing things I don't explain.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
It's almost like Avengers convenience and all that. Like the whole scene when they like talking to each other, like that's like an imaginary like fucking hollow thing or what the hell it was. But yeah. Anyway, and then I'm interested in this script actually tells you about what they were saying as well, which is cool. And you see like the immediate hateful friendship between Han Solo and Chewbacca, and it sort of grows on you after a while. And then eventually Beckett, he catches up to Beckett again and jumps in, and then they join up. They're not too happy to see each other, but it's sort of like fuck it kind of thing.
Yeah, because you can't expect them to be like not friends straight away, because it's a Wookiee and a human basically. If that makes sense. And
later on, you get the campfire scene. It tells you about like the backstories and all that, which is what I thought was quite interesting. What do you guys think of that when they got like introduced to like the snow planet and all that?
I liked the snow planet.
Oh,
that was
yeah,
probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That train kind of thing. Scene.
Yeah, I mean we saw it in the trailer, so we sort of knew it was coming, but like, it was done pretty well. And
it was.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that one of those characters died though. What was it that died?
It was Val that died, and then Rio died as well.
I was like, what? Why? Why?
I don't know.
Like,
I think they did that.
Job?
They killed them to show to make Beckett go down, to like show that Beckett's a bit ruthless. Like he's dealt with that kind of stuff before, which I think he has.
Yeah.
And yeah, here it comes. Take a look, etc. Then you have like their whole deal of how to get in, and usually with plans in movies, they never usually go as planned. I mean, just look at Red Dead Redemption 2's train robbery. That went, yeah, that didn't go well.
Nope.
Especially the bit in fucking Blackwater and Saint-Denis, and yeah. Anyway, and then you sort of talk about Enfys Nest as well. And Enfys Nest is like it's interesting that they talk of Enfys Nest as sort of like a terrorist group, but we all know who the real terrorists are later on. Well, actually, the rebels have always been perceived as like I was gonna say fucking infidels, extremists. But yeah, okay. And then they talk about the whole future depends on this one school, and in the cinema, I guess we're wondering, okay, so they're obviously working for someone big.
Oh yeah, but we don't know who that is yet.
No. I am Darth Maul. Anyway.
Oh my fucking god, spoil that!
Everyone's reaction in the cinema if they haven't watched haven't watched the Clone Wars and like, oh my god, it's Darth Maul. Yeah, watch the Clone Wars.
Like you know, I was sitting there with my sister, like, so hey, it's Darth Maul, and my dad's like, "What the fuck is he still alive?" I was thinking I was like,
my dad had the exact same reaction. I was like, yeah.
I said to him, "Oh, you've got a lot of watching to do."
yeah, like 3 seasons of the Clone Wars to go through. Anyway, then they give the gun to Han Solo. It's sort of Han Solo's character, like it's his gun.
Frozen. I don't want to say it's something not about the podcast.
Yeah.
But Haza is now just playing Total War Medieval 2.
What was he? Okay, that's some family meeting he's having. Okay, so you guys don't know, and he's gonna see this later and be like, "Oh, you bastard!"
Yep.
Essentially, he said to us, "Oh, I'm gonna go spend some time with my family." All right, fair enough. That's okay. You can do that. But we look on his Steam account. Actually, do you know what? I'll fucking show you now.
Yeah, just show
So,
his Steam account for
It says
everybody.
I won't. No, not Steam account. Discord. Sorry. I won't be coming to the podcast.
Yeah,
why
I
not?
spend time with my family. So I was like, I don't know why I put a visible confusion, but fair enough. And then later on, he's playing Empire Total War. So yeah, he's now gone offline. So yeah, either he's full of shit or he's downstairs with his family playing on his laptop in front of his family. I don't know.
No, no.
Up to him, innit?
He's playing the fuck out. I'm playing Total War.
You know what the best part is? He's offline in Discord, but his Steam account he's still playing.
Like, Cole, if you're gonna lie about it, at least actually don't make it obvious that you're
Exactly.
online.
Well, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, he's gone offline on. No, he's okay. Do you know what? I don't know.
He's online,
Anyway,
he's
back on track to the Discord. Then they talk about Han Solo's like how he ended up where he was, and there was actually a deleted scene where Han Solo got demoted from being a pilot, which we never saw that, but I thought it was quite interesting. Anyway, and they were talking about obviously Akira and Han Solo's love interest. And it's nice to think that Han Solo's first ever love wasn't Leia. That's why he didn't like Leia at first glances, because he's been betrayed before by women. So, you know, and it reminded me a bit of Indiana Jones as well, because he went through the same sort of thing with women.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah, that's true.
and then you talk about Val and Tobias Beckett's love relationship, and Han Solo's thinking, "Damn." And then he showed that he misses something, and then they talk about the Wookiees and taking off to Kashyyyk, and then that also comes up in Star Wars Battlefront 2 with Han Solo and Chewbacca going to free the Wookiees from the Empire, which is quite cool. And later on, we get the bit where they're fighting on. I'm trying to think where we went here. Okay. Yeah, so they get the Empire fighting on the train, which I personally thought that train sequence was awesome.
Oh,
But
brilliant! Oh,
yeah, it was good.
masterpiece.
And the Emperor's Nest guys turn up, as we kind of expected, and they try to take the score, which we just think, they're just generic pirates trying to make a fortune. But obviously, we find out later on they're not. So they're still shooting. You get a gist. And then the Viper droids come out, which are like, they're just basically like a probe droid, which is basically what they are, except they're like vicious. And then and Han Solo, and that other guy, that Rio guy dies. But what do you guys think of Rio as well?
Could care less.
to be honest, they kind of died too early on.
There wasn't too much character stuff, but obviously it was sad for Tobias because obviously he was in a relationship with the other girl. But the Rio guy, I think you were meant to like him because he reminds you of Grease from Fallen Order, but then again, Fallen Order didn't come out till later on. But I don't know. But yeah, I didn't mind. I thought Rio was a decent guy. But then eventually Han Solo takes over, and then he sort of proves to the rest of the team that he's with what the hell? Then he proves to them he's a good pilot. And then the Rio dies and then says to Han, it's not good to die alone. Which in a way, Han Solo didn't die alone, did he? He sort of died with his son. Not in the kind of way he would have wanted to go out, but, you know. Well, that was the way that Han Solo's character was, redeemed in the way. If you can justify the sequels, it's very hard to.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously Rio dies, and it's kind of a bit sad, because it was kind of nice and died. And Val was still on there, and all of a sudden Val dies, and then Beckett, loses it. Yeah. And then Han Solo lifts up. And the Han Solo sort of gets the harpoons get trapped, and then Han Solo drops the coaxium thing on the mounting, which explodes. And I was like, oh fuck! So what do you guys think of that scene? The Han Solo just blowing up a mountain.
Fuck.
Yeah, that
I
kind
thought
of
it was
sums
a
it
nice
up.
little explosion sequence, pretty much. Anyway, it's like we were watching a Michael Bay film or something blowing up. But anyway. And all of a sudden, Beckett finds Han and punches him in the face, which I thought was so funny. And then all of a sudden, he tells he's been fired by Crimson Dawn. What?
Oh my god, what is this happening in Haza's Discord server?
What's happened?
There's a racial like fight going on.
This is a what?
It's just Discord server.
We can't do a punk. I don't like Negroes. Oh, yes, I don't like black people. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's back to the podcast. YouTube, please don't demote this video. Anyway, Crimson Dawn, and then we'd like find out who they are, and they're quite the problem. I mean, we know who powerful they are when later on, but yeah. Oh no, season 5 the Clone Wars, we sort of find out who that are hired by Maul, so we're like, oh okay, so maybe Maul's behind this. But then again, after that scene with Palpatine kicking his ass, we were kind of thinking, wait, is Maul dead? I mean, surely he's dead, right? Then there's like a bunch of comics after that, but I didn't read the comics.
Darth Maul just gets resurrected like, every time. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets resurrected after Rebels. Like, you know.
Oh, I think he's dead. I'm pretty sure. I mean, his death was fine in Rebels. That was the way to go.
But we said the same about Palpatine. Look what happened. You know, he got chucked off the Death Star. Like, oh god, let's have Palpatine back. It's like,
yeah, that was a bit stupid. Anyway. Let me find that this Trident Voss guy is pretty powerful. I'm just like, oh, okay, he's pretty bad. And they're like, then they show the difference between the Empire, and they're like, oh, these guys are basically like criminal underworld people, which is established in the opening sequence. And then the difference is the Empire doesn't send out a team of forces to hunt you down when you're a deserter. So there you go. What comes next? You have any idea what this like? Yeah. Yeah, Han likes the idea of living up with a price in his head, which is a bit of foreshadowing into the whole Jabba the Hutt thing later on. Yeah. And Han, so that's what we do, make it up to him. And Beckett, no, he knows me, not you. If you come with me and show your face. And Han shows a bit of honor in, like, you know, sticking with someone to the end. So that's what we were love him for. And Beckett obviously apologizes for hitting him in the face, and Han says happens more often. So yeah. Which happens, I think Leia slaps him also in Empire Strikes Back, I believe. So yeah, and then they meet Dryden Voss, and they show that they can't have any weapons. And obviously it's a party. What do you guys think of the party in that bit?
It's good.
Yeah, your generic party, really.
It's just that, you know.
And then we're introduced to the obviously he tells Beckett tells Han not to talk to anyone, which is fair enough. We all know something's going to happen. He's not going to talk to them. And then Chewie goes off and to growl and eat. And then all of a sudden he's introduced to Kira again. We're like, oh, hang on a minute, what's she doing there? But then we're like, oh, she must have been recruited. So then they have their like reunion and they have the hug, which I thought was kind of nice. Then Han was telling them that he's going to go back for her and all that, but then Kira's glad he didn't and all that. But Kira keeps him in the dark with the whole "I'm not going to tell you why I'm here," because so yeah, which is to show that Crimson Dawn's a very mysterious organization. It's almost like the Abstergo in the opening for the modern day in Assassin's Creed 1 as well.
I can't even remember the Crimson Dawn.
That's how fucking mysterious they are. The Crimson Dawn is now made more notable with like Darth Maul now, so there you go. And hopefully you might see more of it in Fallen Order as well. Fallen Order 2. Anyway, then they're talking about Han Solo sort of like bragging like, oh, I've got a massive ship and it's all mine. Which is like, you know it's not going to work. And then Beckett gets annoyed at him and says, you were meant to do this anyway. And obviously you have that scene about like Dryden Voss is busy with a governor and it cuts him just murdering that governor. It's really funny. And it's funny enough, the same guy who is being played, I can't remember the name of the actor, but he plays Vision in Avengers as well, which is nice to see him again. In a slightly different role as well. Then obviously he meets Trident, and Trident meets Beckett, and then they have a conversation. And Beckett still seems pretty down about Val. Actually, what do you guys think of Trident Voss as a character?
Yes, no.
Hmm.
Kind of forgot who he was. I'm joking.
Funny enough, you do see Dryden Voss in the Clone Wars as well.
You
The
do?
last,
Oh.
last time I watched this movie was
In
God.
a short scene where Maul's talking to like the leaders of the Crimson Dawn, and you see a picture, you see like Dryden Voss there. And the scene lingers on his hologram for a little while, so everyone can figure out who it is. Anyway, Han Solo gets introduced to Dryden Voss, and then they talk about how Kira knew him and all that. And they're talking about old fellow scrum brat. But yeah, I like that scene as well. That was cool. Then Dryden tries to reason with Beckett. No, Beckett tries to reason with Dryden. Sorry, and Dryden isn't the most like appreciative of failures. And they're talking about Infa's Nest as being an irritation. So obviously, so it sort of sets up that Infa's Nest is sort of like the bad guys. But are we sure? Anyway. Yeah. Test me, and
We're still trying to figure out what's going on at this point. Like, I guess he's the bad guy. He's the good.
Dryden Voss just murdered someone, but did he murder some? What reason did he kill that person? It's all like the hell knows. I think what Dryden's Kira sort of pecks up to Dryden's interest, so Han so she has a bit of divided loyalties to Han and Dryden Voss. But obviously her loyalty goes beyond both of them to someone else.
Oh yes.
Beckett tries to, what can I do to make this right? And Beckett all that. Then they also, funny enough, they talk about we will simply see it from where you'll be hard pushed to find it anywhere outside an Imperial Vault Scarif. So it's sort of a reference to Rogue One, which is interesting. By watching Rogue One, you know how much of a fucking disaster that film is when at the end, where everyone dies.
I liked Rogue One. I liked the
anyway,
death.
we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, then they talk about the spice mines of Kessel, and they talk about the Pikes, which, funny enough, the Pikes are part of Crimson Dawn. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
Anyway, the Crimson Dawn maintained a fragile alliance with the Pikes, so obviously one that's sort of like. But yeah, then Trident threatens to kill him, but then they come up with an idea to get a ship of a really fast ship, which is everyone's starting to wonder. Wait, is that the Millennium Falcon? Yes, it is. But wait.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, they're talking about the syndicates, and that's quite interesting. Anyway, they go to Savarine, and not Savarine. They go to that's the refinery. Sorry. Then they obviously go to there, and they sort of have a where is it? Then Kira goes with him. I know a guy and all that, and Han's jealousy sort of kicks in later on, as you will see. And I talk about a smuggler who's the best around. He's literally in Empire's fingers. A lot of us, when eventually we go to, he's attractive too, sophisticated, and we're starting to think, Lando? And yes, it is. There's a lot of blatant, obvious foreshadowing in this film. It's like, yeah, Lando, and it's fairly obvious.
Oh yeah.
Then Lando's obviously talking, and then Donald Glover, I believe it is, who plays Lando. It is him, isn't it?
Yeah.
I liked his performance. What do you guys think of his performance as Lando?
Yeah,
He did fine.
I think he was better than the guy who played Han Solo. I think, in the film wise.
Yeah. Just say,
Not-
no one's better than Harrison Ford, mate. Well, okay.
No. No, the younger guy who plays Han.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Han.
Anyway, they're talking about the ship, and then Han says, you can see Han's cockiness, and that cockiness sticks with him for quite some time. And he's like,
yeah.
I can take him. Let me at him. Yeah. I'm serious. And it's really fun. And then obviously he meets Lando and Han. You see their relationship as friends, and sort of
pretty good.
a small hatred between the two of them, but that eventually develops into a friendship later on. But then again, it can't really doesn't, to be fair. Not until Empire Strikes Back, which is like 10 years later. Anyway, looks like you're having a lucky day, and tries to charm him and all that, which is quite cool. And obviously you have the have them fighting, and Lando beats the shit out of him. With foul play, however, to show that Lando's a bit of a cheat. Okay, turn to be a real money pit, yeah. Then they talk about what ship he flies, and Han sort of brags, yeah, I've got the fastest ship in the galaxy. Nothing's better than what I got. That's a load of shit.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially when you see it at the end. Kind of something also kind of thing.
Anyway, and Han sort of gets his ass kicked, as I mentioned earlier. What's a bit that happens after that? After that, Han talks shit about Lando, which I thought kind of funny. Captain Wonderful is so full of banter crap, and then he just goes, "You." It's like, and Lando's jealous. Han's jealousy sort of kicks in there when he like kisses Kira's hand. He's like, "Yeah, I fucking hate this guy," which is funny. What you doing, Harry and the boy? It was. Then Tobias Beckett turns up and he said Crimson Dawn is squared, so Lando knows who Crimson Dawn is. And Han comes over, we're making the Kessel Run, we need a ship. And they've been saying Lando's retired, which is kind of odd because he's like 30 something, so I wouldn't say he's retired.
It was a bit.
Yeah.
Retire young.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got that money, you know. We just need money. Lots of money. We got money. Anyway, Beckett sort of introduces 25%, which is Lando's like, oh, and it sort of like introduces Beckett more as like a legendary hero, or not hero, but legendary, you know. And then they talk about Aura Singh. For those who watch the Clone Wars, they know who Aura Singh is, and Aura Singh's. And I think Aura Singh actually is actually in Phantom. I think it's Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones. Is like a small scene, like a couple second scene. You see her as well.
God, I can't remember.
I just remember. My memory is like state of the art compared to your terminal dementia brain.
Yes, my dementia.
After all the years of working at a fucking shitty restaurant, it's like falling to pieces. Anyway, Aura Singh, obviously, we find out Aura Singh died. For those that we know in the Clone Wars, Aura Singh was a bit of a bitch, so not many of us like, yeah, thank God she's dead. Anyway, they talk about, and then we're introduced to L3, which is the droid, which is sounds a lot like Brienne of Tarth. Obviously, it's not her, but it's very much like her voice. I found, but obviously not. Then they talk about how she's sort of a. She almost felt like sort of a feminist, but for droids, like droidist, or I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of thought.
I thought she was a decent character. Like I find her hilarious, but like because normally we're always introduced to droids as being females. Obviously, this one wasn't.
Yeah, it's a bit, like I don't mind this like thing, but like every time she goes, "I'm a female droid," I'm like, shut the fuck up. Every time. I'm like, I don't care if you're a female droid, just shoot the bloody stormtroopers. I don't care.
Anyway.
You don't hear away going, I race Skywalker every 2 seconds. Well, not until the end of the movie,
Then you
of course.
then you get to the bit where you see Lando and L3's bit of banterous relationship. Which is I kind of like that, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And then talk about the Kessel Run and all that. And then there's a bunch of dialogue about how Lando's the organic overlord and making jokes and all that. After that,
and then we get to
there she is, my pride and joy, the Millennium Falcon, which I thought was awesome. And I loved the music as well in that moment when that started. I was like, oh, brilliant.
Oh yeah.
And what do you guys think of the Millennium Falcon in that scene?
It was the Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was kind of, when they went inside, it was very new. It was like, oh, what the hell happened to this ship? Why did it get so fucking grotty?
Yeah, well, that's because Han Solo bad at fly.
Yeah.
Worst pilot.
He's good at flying, but he's not good at cleaning.
Worst pilot in the galaxy.
Anyway.
One of the worst cleaning in the galaxy.
Okay. So yeah, they have the escape pod, which is like, you're like, oh right, he has the escape pod. That probably gets destroyed because it's not there in the other films. And then Beckett's like, you're down to 20. Anyway,
Let me.
then there's sort of
Six.
oh wait, yeah, and then we get the Enfys Nest bit, like tracking their ship. It's the Corellian YT 1300 freighter, so we like know for sure it's the film.
Do you know, I kind of like the design of the what is it, the TIE fighters, where they had like one person's like the cannon bit on the side of it.
Yeah, that was like the that was
pretty cool. So you had like one person flying, you had like another person like a cannon bit shooting out, like kind of like the what was it, Millennium Falcon, or something like shooting things out. You know what I mean?
Anyway, and Lando talks with I think it's Tobias about his father, I believe. Lando's not very close with Dad.
God.
And then they go to Kessel, and then they have the It's hard to do this because it doesn't tell me who's talking in this one scene. Then Han goes, "Oh, you've seen Kira," because he wants to talk to her. Obviously, they haven't seen each other in a while, so you know. And obviously, they have the whole love scene between them, trying on the cape, which I thought was interesting.
Oh yeah.
And Han's still madly in love with the girl, like, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, he is.
That soon changes when he ditches her, but well, she ditches him, I guess. And then he's trying to convince her to like leave Crimson Dawn, but we still are led on that Crimson Dawn is like a really serious organization.
Yeah, we're still wondering what it is yet.
Yeah.
The fuck is it?
And then Beckett tries to talk Han, saying, "Don't do it, because you could fuck things up." The makings of a solid crew, he says, but it does not work with Kira.
Yeah.
And then Han and Tobias Beckett says to Han, "Assume Aaron will betray you," which is sort of in Han's philosophy later on, with Han being not very untrustworthy, and like he wasn't very trusting of fucking Obi-Wan either. It's the only way I live, he says, and then they get into the Acades maelstrom. And then we talked about how much of a dodgy fucking place it is. And then they talk about well, that brand on your wrist tells me that you're committed to that young male's heart fluctuations. And then they sort of like talk, and the Kira's like, "Oh, Han's not loving me and all this shit," but obviously we all know he is. It's fairly obvious.
Yeah, it just gives it away. No?
Yeah. Anyway, and then sort of like Lando like has a thing for the droid, which is a bit like, how does that work?
So,
I guess you can
confusion?
fall in love with someone who's not a human. I guess.
I'm just quite trying to question how they would.
All I can hear in the background is fucking when Haza did that noises about in Padme's room. I remember that.
Right, okay.
Meanwhile, in Padme's room. What the fuck?
What
Oh
the
my
fucking
God,
droid?
that's fucking
How's that gonna work?
Yeah. Well, I guess a droid could pleasure a woman, but we won't go into detail. All right, let's move on. Anyway.
Yeah, let's not dwell on these things.
Anyway, then they go to the Corellia, which what do you guys think of Corellia?
What was that? Bacons?
Corellia is the planet they go to. With the
Is that the where they have to go to that coal mine bit? Is that it?
The what? Oh yeah, the mine. Yeah, the coal mine. We're not in Northumbria, Bradley. Well, get the coal out.
What the fuck? Fucking British Empire.
Anyway, Kira's setting up her like fake thing, and yeah, Han and Chewie are making growing noises.
Okay.
It's fucking hell. He says all systems center of this first. Then they're talking about fucking hell. He says all systems in the sector of facility operate out of this room. Yeah. So they talk about the like the room and all that and how it all works. Most of it's sort of boring stuff, really, but some people might find it interesting. And all of a sudden, Kira looks at us as a security hologram of not hologram, but a security monitor of Then she's sort of showing some compassion for Han and Chewie getting like fucking electrocuted or something.
Yeah.
And obviously, Kira like fucking does some sort of like weird, some Assassin's Creed shit on the other guy, and she gets taught. She's been taunted by Dryden Voss. I wonder who the hell taught Dryden Voss the Terra's Cassie move. Oh, that's right, Darth Maul, probably. Most likely, anyway. And she tries to talk to the Elfrey talks to the droids. And it starts liberating all the droids, which then causes a rebellion. the fucking Clanker uprising. Okay, so now then we're free. Anyway, Elfrey is overriding everything, and then they go down. Chewie, come on, let's go, and all that. Because Chewie's like with the goes off to try and liberate his people, which shows that Han sort of wants to help Chewie at some point as well.
Oh yeah.
And then Han gets back to the coaxium, and they obviously realise they don't exactly have a lot of time to get it done. And then if the internal temperature reaches below 35, the coaxium will blow up, and they all die essentially. And then funny enough, it cuts to Lando's Calrissian Chronicles like thing, whatever the hell he's doing, as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, then L3 gets shot. And Lando like runs out and then he dies in the process. Han then goes out and saves Lando, and again showing like Han's a character that is kind, but he just doesn't like act.
Oh yeah.
And obviously L3's death scene. What do you guys all think of that?
It's.
I mean, they do this with characters. They introduce these characters. They don't flesh them out very well. Then they die. It's like, oh, okay. Yes, maybe we feel like kind of bad for them dying, but at the same time, like they just kill off characters because they have no like purpose in the original trilogy, which is like, oh well, we can just like have them as side characters like that weren't in the actual original trilogy, but oh well. Anyway, obviously she dies and Lando's pretty upset. I mean, you would be if you had a thing for a droid. Okay. And after that, you get L3's Han sort of takes over as a pilot, which is what he's always wanted.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then the Empire sort of comes down and Han's like, oh, these guys won't waste time on me, and then they come out and attack him. So yeah.
It's like what the fuck?
What the fuck? You can't check the coaxium. You bastard.
Fucking Han Solo is Romanian.
Romanian Han Solo. Just imagine. Oh my god. Okay.
Lando.
Then the TIE fighters come out and attack, and then Han's cockiness kicks in. Thankfully, it works out, and he tries to. You can't make a Kessel run less than 20 parsecs. Watch me. How? I'll take a shortcut. Through there into the maelstrom. Yeah. Then they use L3's navigational system, which explains how the Falcon is such good system for navigation. Which I think is kind of cool.
So, wow, look at that.
Yeah, and all that. And Kira's with Han trying to get at the moment. Then they're just like fighting. I like the fight scene between the, and then obviously had the music for the asteroid theme. So what do you guys think of that?
Of the what?
Of the fight scene between the TIE fighters and the Falcon.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
That's good.
Quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, and obviously when Kira disappeared, and then the music picks up when like Chewie's in the cockpit. It's like,
because they added that original music.
I loved the emotion. It was like very. I wasn't that too emotional, but it was like the feels of like them being together for the first time in the whole franchise. It
makes it feel like the original trilogy kind of like when they get chased down by the TIE fighters and that. with like that music.
It was very reminding of that scene. It was of the asteroid theme and all that. And
the Empire Strikes Back, wasn't it? Yeah.
And then obviously they get through the. They have like the maelstrom with that massive creature thing. What do you guys think of that whole sequence? Them escaping through the maelstrom.
What that creature?
Yeah. And, like just escaping through like. The
kind of felt like
collapsing.
Empire Strikes Back again, kind of.
Like, because they're getting out of it. Yeah.
Because had that massive like thing pop. Like, oh fuck! Like,
it's like, oh, what the fuck is that?
But yeah, I was sitting there and flash. I was like, wait a minute, I've seen that before. Like,
holy crap! Anyway, then they go to the Savarine after the Kessel Run, and everyone's like really impressed with Han. And Han's obviously we know Han does it because he mentions it in the original trilogy, and sort of brags about it a lot. A scene in Force Awakens when Rey goes, "You did the Kessel Run in 14." He goes 12. Like he's very exact with that number. Is what I like. And then Kira, Han again tried to convince Kira to come back once they land in Safarine, and Dryden, and she's like, Han shows his like no fear of Crimson Dawn, and everyone's like, they're dodgy, but Han's still like, nah, we're good. Despite the fact that their boss is Darth Maul, nah, it's all good.
Oh yeah,
the fact that Darth Maul would probably kill Han Solo in the fucking immediately. But yeah. Anyway, and Han like pretends he's like, I'm an outlaw, and like tries to show off a bit. And then Akira's just like, yeah, all right.
I was like, yeah, no.
Then he goes, and then Akira's like, you're the good guy, and Han pretends he's not. But he's a good guy, but he's a bit like Edward Kenway. He's a good person, but he's like
just doesn't think he is.
No, he's motivated by greed. He doesn't give a shit really too much about anyone else. But he's not like a bad guy. He's like an anti-hero sort of.
But let's be honest, if there's money involved, you wouldn't really care about anyone else anyway.
No.
If there's money,
with Luke Skywalker, Luke was sort of wanted like do his thing. He didn't care about money. He wanted like to go save the galaxy, and it's sort of the same with Anakin with the whole like he wanted to do his part and save people, and again wanted to sort of see the galaxy. That was his sort of motivation. Yeah, and eventually he did, but it's not the. But it just took a while.
Crap.
Yeah. Then Emperor's Nest like turns up. It's like, oh shit. And I love the bit with Han's like, right, you see that freighter down there? You know what's on it? About 30 higher gun. All I gotta do is give them the signal, and you're surrounded. And just go. It's left. I was like, I thought that scene was
get
hilarious.
Out.
And then obviously we're introduced to who Emperor's Nest is. And they're like, oh, they're the good guys then. And the Crimson Dawns are real bad guys, which is obviously. And I'm talking about the 5 syndicates have committed unspeakable crimes across the galaxy. And then, we then eventually know, I've been hinting about the whole fucking podcast already about how Darth Maul leading it. And you see that Darth Maul's like leading the whole thing. He's like fucking up the galaxy essentially. Anyway.
He's like, okay, he's doing that. Like, no worries.
No worries.
Yeah.
And each of the worlds, I like that scene. It was like a nice little plot twist as well.
Oh, it was good. Yeah.
Then in a way you kind of sort of saw it coming, I guess. But
Well, I did kind of see
Beckett's sort of like, oh, I'm gonna go to Tatooine, and then he's what's on Tatooine. And then there's sort of the big shot gangster putting together a crew, so Jabba the Hutt, and which is sort of almost foreshadowing to what's happened next.
The ending was just like one massive twist.
Yeah, it was.
Like the good guy you thought was good. It's like, oh no, I'm bad.
Nah, I'm prick.
Okay, what's going on here?
Anyway.
Bad guy.
Then Han comes up with a plan. At the moment we're sort of like, oh, Han's just done whatever the fuck. He doesn't give a shit, essentially. And I thought, what do you guys think of like the story with the villagers getting all their tongues cut out? I thought that was fairly dark. It's like
it was a bit,
Game of Thrones or something. I was like, oh, okay. Alright, Darth Maul's a bit fucking sadistic, alright?
I'm kind of used to it, but for a movie is so dark.
Yeah. And then
That's good though.
then Voss is like, oh, there's no way you could pull this off. Like not Voss. Yeah, fucking Dryden Voss. I'll get him fucking mixed up with Quillen Voss, but yeah. And then he plays the role as like, oh yeah, they did the good job and all that. And I like. What do you guys think of like Quillen Voss? I think I mentioned that before, but what do you guys think of like this dialogue, this scene at the end? Well, not the end, but this bit.
It was good. Yeah. It was that. I guess. No.
Yeah.
It's that.
Wait, I just noticed my keyboard has some of these stands under it. Never noticed it before.
I've
yeah,
it on all the time.
Yeah, I just never noticed it before.
No. Anyway, then you have the bit where he's like, "Oh, I would believe you, but it's that good. But my associate already told me about your plan to." And then we're like, "Oh wait, hang on a minute. Who the hell told him?" And then there's Trident Voss and fucking hell. Tobias Beckett walks in, and we're like, "Oh, yeah, he's a fucking traitor."
So wait a minute.
But ultimately, we sort of suspicious. Oh, it must be Kira straight away, but it's not. Kira is actually shows a bit of like Kira cares about Han, but she wants to overthrow Trident Voss and become the leader of that like set of syndicates, which is interesting.
Wait a minute. How?
Well, you know, like she betrays him, like kills Trident Voss, and buggers off. And lies to Darth Maul was like, yeah, this happened, and I could have saved him, but so yeah, she sort of like betrays both of them in a way. If you analyze the scene completely, then yeah, and obviously you get the bit when Han Solo has actually outsmarted them and says, "You told Chewie people of Reddition, you are no exception." It's almost like Han sort of like, "Yep, I saw it coming, haha."
We didn't know.
And Han goes, I hope you didn't send all your fancy enforcer because that would leave you a little short-handed. And I love the bit where Beckett like betrays him for his own good, which is kind of funny. It shows even for money, Beckett still makes a choice for money. Yeah. Then Trident Voss makes a deal and betray. Then Trident Voss and the duel between Han and Akira. What do you guys think of that? I thought that was it was really good.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think like almost every scene of the movie was good. So
yeah, most scenes were pretty good. Some of the writing could have been better. I felt, but overall it was a good film.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, but it definitely could be better.
Now the bit where she outsmarts Trident Voss and kills him, where to show how Kira's quite the powerful, formidable person. Anyway. So she finishes off Trident Voss and then tells Han to go. Says she's gonna fix up things. I think we're all sort of suspicious, like, oh, she's definitely gonna bugger off. Then Han goes and finds Kira, and he goes and saves Chewbacca and kills him. And after Han goes off, Kira goes, "I'm right behind you," and all of a sudden a hologram comes on. We're like, oh. At first, what was your guys' impressions when you first saw his hologram and his hooded figure?
I was like, oh, would you look at that, guys? There's another guy with a black hood. I can never guess that one.
Yeah, but what do you guys? Wow. Who do you guys actually like? Do you think? I thought it was like Palpatine at first, because I heard the voice and I was like, oh, that's But then I remember Sam Witwer voiced Emperor Palpatine in the Force Unleashed. So I was like, hang on a minute. Then after a while, I looked at the feet and I was like, wait, that's silver metal. Hang on a minute. I was like, yeah, it's definitely him.
But as soon as you see him like pull the lightsaber, that's not Palpatine.
No,
I saw it coming.
Well, MT, who do you think it was? Did you think it was Maul at first?
I don't remember. I don't think I actually thought of someone. I just went along with it, like, oh, there's some unknown dude.
Yeah.
Spacing my wife.
But yeah, I love that. I did love that scene though. With I regret to inform you that Dryden Voss is dead. My husband Fifi starts, and he goes, "Is that so? where is the shipment now? And all of a sudden he reveals his hood, and it's like the Duel of the Fates music plays in the background. Really like, he's like, oh shit, it's him.
Yes.
And he goes, one man couldn't have done this alone. And he goes, bring the ship and come to me on Dathomir, and you and I will then decide what to do about traitor Beckett and his accomplices. And then we're thinking, wait, Han's fucked. How's Han gonna do this?
If they don't do another movie, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, yeah, they need to continue this. They need to have a duel between Darth Vader and Darth Maul. That needs to happen. It needs to happen.
But he goes, "Do you remember me? I killed Qui-Gon." And he goes, "Oh."
And Darth Vader just loses it. It's like, oh,
Darth Vader just like literally goes on like rage.
It's like
beats the crap out of Darth Maul.
And it's like, I have been waiting for you.
Can't kill him obviously because that's Obi-Wan's job. But
yeah. Okay, and then he goes, "You and I will be working." I love the bit when he ignites his lightsaber. It's like, oh shit, he's serious. I kind of feel like Kira, he's gonna train Kira in like how to use the lightsaber. I feel like that's gonna happen. What do you guys think?
Haza's definitely fucked. Like,
yeah. I mean, obviously, like, I feel like there's gonna be like a thing where Vader sort of like joins with Han Solo temporarily, or I don't know. It could whatever. I mean, Obi-Wan doesn't meet Darth Vader, doesn't meet Maul until a lot later. So, yeah, Maul doesn't he doesn't know Obi-Wan lives, so they're not going to fight. So I don't know who's going to... I know for a fact that Han's not going to face off against Maul alone. Like, he's fucked. He's dead, and that's it now. Oh, God. Anyway, then he comes, then you have the bit between Han and Tobias Beckett. What do you guys think of that scene?
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, just say everything. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was good. You know, yeah.
And all of a sudden,
shit.
Then Han kills Beckett, and Beckett goes down as like if Beckett cares, he's like he knows Han can be a good person, but you know.
Yeah, but all he sees is money. So he doesn't really care about it. So, money.
I wonder who that reminds me of. We need goddamn money. Anyway, that's it. And then all of a sudden, Han gives all the money back to gives it to then shows that Han has a sense of generous, but he has what he wants anyway. Then obviously he buggers off, and then we go back to Lando, and of course you have the scene where Kira buggers off, and Han's thinking,
which was brilliant.
But then you have Chewbacca like sort of pats him, as like, you got me, which is what I liked. And then obviously goes back to Lando bragging about his story as always.
Yes.
And Han turns up, and he's sort of like, I'm gonna kill you, and as a joke, and it's all banter really. Then he tries to win the Falcon, and he sort of, I love the way he like tricks Lando into like with the card thing and wins, which I liked a lot.
Oh.
And then obviously they cheer, and Han goes fair and square, which he then says later on, and later on in Empire Strikes Back, I want a fair and square. And then Han obviously is on his way to Tatooine to find Jabba the Hutt, and then we sort of know, I guess we know how it's gonna go. So I guess maybe we won't see Han Solo again, but we will see Darth Maul's sort of story with Kira. I think that could well happen in Star Wars Fallen Order. Like, that could happen.
Well, let's just make it an actual movie instead.
Yeah, they could, yeah. But I wouldn't be against it if it was a Star Wars Fallen Order 2. That game, the Fallen Order 1 was really good. You need to play that.
I wouldn't be either, but like less people play video games than they do watch movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, and that's pretty much it for the film. And he goes, whenever I ever steered you wrong, not yet. But yeah, guys. Anyway, guys, that's it for the Solo thing. What do you guys? What do you guys want rate it as?
Well, because it wasn't really hyped up, like because
No, the box office
we
didn't
just
do that
had-
well, to be fair, but who the hell
because
cares?
we just had The Last Jedi, which was a big flop.
Yeah,
to be
that
honest, let's
after
be
the Last
honest.
Jedi, a lot of people like sort of like fuck Star Wars. Like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, we're kind of thinking. Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I personally
no one
liked it, so
cares.
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because I personally liked it. I thought it was a nice little origin story to Han Solo.
I'm gonna give it a oh god, fuck. I'd say a 7.5. Why not?
Fair enough. What about you,
Give that
MT? What do you
decimal.
think of the film? Or rate it?
Yeah, I was also thinking about a 7 or a 7.5.
Yeah.
But I think I'll go with a 7.5.
Anyway, guys,
Like, you know-
I guess that's it for Solo. Overall, it's a good film. I enjoyed it. All right, now
Yep.
we shall transition over to Rogue One. Hey, guys, and welcome to the Rogue One side of the podcast. For you guys, it was like a few seconds. For me, it was an entire day. But
We
anyway.
travelled
An
in
entire
time.
day. Wow.
Yes, we are joined with the usual bastards, and like we have Arpy,
Hello.
who is a lot nicer, and then we have the American and the Oxford dick. But anyway,
The Oxford Dick.
that's all I could
That's
think
how I
of.
shall refer to
I
myself
couldn't,
from now on.
I couldn't say the fucking British man because that would apply to me as well. Anyway,
Hey, baby.
right,
You want some?
we're covering Rogue One. Now, I actually watched this yesterday to prepare myself, so I haven't watched it for like a couple of years. So, anyway, let's begin. Now, what do you guys think of the movie as a whole? Before we
Wait,
jump
don't
into
we
it.
start with one person each? Or whatever?
Yeah, but just whoever wants to go first can go.
Oh, Arpy, you go first. You're the new one.
Oh God, I thought it was pretty good. I know lots of people don't like the recent ones, but I kind of
Me included.
I quite liked it. I mean, there are things that are wrong with it, things that are pretty shit about it, but
I mean,
yeah,
one thing that
I
can
like
redeem
it.
it is the Vader scene. Oh, that scene. Anyway,
Yes.
who wants to go
That's
next?
good.
That was very quick.
yeah, sorry.
I liked
That's all right.
I liked most of it. I did not like the Tibetan monk.
What, the blind one?
No, the one that just walked out in the open and said, "I am one with the Force."
Just
The
shot.
Buddhist or
Yeah,
whatever.
you could have like.
I didn't like that. It was dumb. It was stupid.
I like the
And
blind
just-
guy.
okay. The thing I didn't like especially was the rushed characters. Like they
That's
needed a team to go do this, and they literally just threw in archetypes that are in other Star Wars films.
Well, I
And the only ones that make sense is the guy, Jin, and the droid. They're the only ones that make sense. as
That's why they're
characters.
probably doing the whole like. Aren't they doing like a TV series, like all fleshing out all the
There's
characters?
the guy with the gun who's friends with the Tibetan monk, and then there's another guy with a gun who's not the same guy with a gun, and then there's the cowardly guy, and that's the character roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's-
feel
I
like
mean, there's
they
worse.
could have done. I feel like they could have done a lot more with Bodhi, the defector,
Yeah,
because like he was supposed to like his torture scene, which was pretty horrific,
Like
was
tentacle
supposed to be like all awful and stuff, but nothing really came of.
yeah, he just gets tortured, and the film
Yeah.
moves on and
Yeah,
pretends
Yeah,
like
two
it didn't happen.
two scenes later, he's fine.
Yeah, so what was the point in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally, myself, I enjoyed the film as it was. I like the whole like it was almost well not really an origin story, but a story that focused on how it led into Episode 4, which is what I like. Plus the plus the return of Darth Vader on the screen in the cinema since 11 years the last time we saw him on the screen, so that was pretty awesome. But yeah, anyway.
Bits of nostalgia, like
Oh yeah.
C-3PO and R2D.
Yeah, that was good.
Bail Organa as well. 'Cause we didn't see what happened. We didn't see Bail Organa like older. He just died. That was it. We never saw him since Revenge of the Sith, but in that we did. Well, no, actually,
Yeah,
I
that's
think it
good.
was Star Wars Rebels actually, but not in.
Yeah, I like that they put him back in because he did play a tiny role.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he's still a
we go.
character,
Let's
though. He's still-
the
Mon
first.
Mothma fucking cool.
Yeah. Anyway,
See,
right,
there we go.
right, shut up. Okay. Now, obviously, it starts with the ship going into. I like the way it started up. It didn't start as a normal Star Wars thing. It started with something completely different, with a planet. You know, I mean, every film, Star Wars film starts with like a planet. I mean, that's just a trend nowadays. And obviously the plant pans down on the planet with Jyn Erso and her family, and then all of a sudden you see Saw Gerrera as well. I'm
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
this
think.
is dumb. This scene is very dumb. This scene is very dumb. I'm going to interject. They see. They decide to park about 100 miles away from
Units.
and then they just slowly walk epically as all the music plays.
That was
to
just
give
done
them
for a
time
fact, yeah.
so that they can hide Jin. Because they need to hide Jin according to the plot. So they just decide to fucking park so far away to give them
They've done
loads
that.
of
They
time.
do that in bloody Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, they park the ship like miles
They
out
do it in
away from land, and then just they go over there by boat. It's like the
Well,
running.
no, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. It makes sense because it's
They
a
can't be
ship.
too
Ship.
close. Yeah, yeah.
Shallow. It's shallow water, and they can't take this
No.
fucking huge ship into shallow water. But
But
in Star
sometimes
Wars,
it's
it
a bit
makes no
silly.
sense.
No,
You can
exactly.
park anywhere. They're the Empire. They can park anywhere. Why do they care?
It's a bit
It's just
silly.
stupid plot shit.
Anyway, obviously the scene. I kind of like the scene with. I like the Death Troopers. That I thought they were pretty cool. And I like that scene as like the moving, like the music in the background was good. The music change as well is another thing that done well as well. They did a good job of that. Considering it wasn't John Williams who was doing the song. And obviously they have the whole like Jin running off and with Lyra and all that. And obviously then he sort of like lies to Krennic, which I thought was a bit stupid because obviously it's gonna fall back on him, as it always does whenever someone lies in the film. And also Krennic discusses like we were this close we were on the verge of greatness, which is now a meme.
Oh, that stupid thing. Oh, that line, that meme line.
We're on the verge of greatness. I can just see a meme when I was watching that yesterday. I was like, oh,
It's
fucking what you
the
say.
meme.
And something I liked was like the talking scene because they're both two great actors as well, Galen Erso and Krennic.
They had good acting in
Oh
general.
yeah, they were good.
It was
Yeah,
good.
the actors are good. It's
Good
just the
acting,
writing.
good writing.
It's the same with Game of
For a
Thrones.
Yeah,
Star
it
Wars
is.
film, for a Star Wars film, it's got good writing and everything.
Yeah. Anyway,
Star
well,
Wars
everything's
is
good
much
apart
better.
from the sequels, but we won't discuss. We've shit posted about the sequels enough, so we'll leave that. Anyway,
Ray Skywalker.
Anyway,
Nice
I love the
one.
bit. I love the bit when Lyra like comes back with a blaster, which I thought was a bit stupid. Like, why would you pull up a blaster at like a guy who's protected by like two other guards? It's just a bit stupid. And then I love the bit when Krennic goes, "Oh, here's Lyra back from the dead," which is almost
Yeah.
shows how stupid his lie was. And obviously, what do you guys think of
stupid.
Oh, I
Lyra's
haven't-
death scene? Like, we didn't see much of that, but like it was let's just shoot her.
I
It
didn't
was
really
kind of
see anything.
forgettable.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Anyway, then obviously Krennic went hunting for the child. Didn't find her, obviously. And yeah,
hunt children.
what do you guys think of Saw Gerrera? Because I know we saw him in the Clone Wars, but obviously it was 20 years had passed. For me, I personally, I liked Saw Gerrera, but he was like a extremist
Yeah, it was fine.
character.
Yeah, he's from the Clone Wars, but he feels unnecessary. He doesn't need to film.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
like
I
the
feel like-
connection he had with Jin, though. I mean, some
Stop
sense.
interrupting him, bro. Let the man speak, Frozen.
I feel like there was like too much or too little of him. So like you could either keep him as more of a minor character, or like you could have him as a bigger character. But they kind of didn't go for either, and then he ended up just dying when the planet got blown up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they
I don't
pretend
know.
it's a big moment. They
Yeah.
pretend it's a big moment that you feel something, but you can
I mean,
give less of a shit.
Once
Yeah.
you watch the Clone Wars and Fallen Order, you see him, and then Rebels as well. Then you sort of like you get to know the character and it makes it more sad when they die. But in with all the 66, when you watch all the Clone Wars, like the entire 7 seasons, it's then like, oh, you feel bad when all the Jedi get it. It's like, I really like those Jedi, and then now they're all fucking dead.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah.
feel worse at all the 66.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's not. But he's been in Rebels and he's been in Clone Wars. But I've seen that and I still didn't care because I feel like they definitely shouldn't, and I feel this really strongly.
Yeah.
There definitely shouldn't
You
be
feel
anything.
a lot of things strongly.
Yeah, I do. I feel the Force strongly. I feel like there should.
You're right.
There should never be any like something exclusive to Clone Wars or Rebels in any of the films. So having in Solo that Darth Maul's still alive is just really fucking confusing to anyone who hasn't seen Clone Wars, and so it shouldn't
We
be
actually
in the
discussed
film.
that yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of our
Saw
parents are
Gerrera,
the same
right?
sort of
Should
thing.
not be in Solo. It should not be in Rogue One. Right? He can be in Rogue One because even if you don't know who he is, he doesn't really matter. But he shouldn't even be there by premise because it's something from Clone Wars Rebels. It's like just suddenly having Ahsoka there. Imagine if Ahsoka was in Rogue One. That'd be fucking dumb.
Bro, that'd be sick.
I
It
mean,
would sell a lot. It would
yeah,
sell a lot of tickets because then you'd get people going, "Ooh, I wonder how
I
shit
mean,
this is
the
gonna be."
majority
Yeah,
of
we
people
always
probably...
make fun of the storytelling, but I'd
We just want
prefer
people to
to do
reference shit that we
monetary.
know. We just want
Yeah.
people to repeat the same shit that we already know over and over again. Oh, it's Ahsoka. We see her again, but this time it's like,
Alright.
I just want to see more of Ahsoka.
Yeah, man, I
Anyway,
want to do a stream where we do this
I'm
from
sure
the,
we will. We will see more of her at some point.
we do this from the Disney perspective, where we talk about how good money is.
Yeah.
I'm expecting
So
to see
guys,
Ahsoka.
enough about
I'm
the
kind of
Force.
hoping we see
I
Ahsoka.
really like my.
I'm hoping
I am
we
tired.
see. Shut the fuck up. I'm hoping we see Ahsoka in Fallen Order 2. Like, we need to see her. I think that would be cool.
I don't want her in anything else ever again. She's
Why?
Because she's dead. Okay, she had a thing in Clone Wars. She finished her thing in Rebels. That's done.
Anyway,
Ahsoka is dead.
after that we have like the time period where Jin's in the prison. Not really sure how she got there, but still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have no idea.
Also, one thing
He's a
that's interesting is
delinquent.
that Saw Gerrera had a lot of fucking injuries. It's never stated how he got those injuries though. Maybe in the comic, but I don't you know,
It's
they don't.
fine.
You know, yeah. Just one of those mysteries, like, oh, why has he lost a leg? What happened there? Anyway, and obviously you go to Rogue One and Star Wars story, like the title screen, which I thought was kind of cool. And then obviously, then you go up to the Ring of Catherine, which is a trading outpost, and you see Cassian Andor. What do you guys think of him?
Who the fuck is that? Is that a
Fucking
cowardly guy?
No, Cassian
just remember them
Andor's
as
the
characters.
No, he's the
he's like the captain.
Spanish guy.
Yeah.
Hola.
I thought it was quite good. I thought it was the most
Spanish
developed
guy.
character out of them
I
all.
liked him. Yeah. Yeah, Jin felt like a sort of like a almost like Connor Kenway from Assassin's Creed, like very bland. If you know what I mean. But
Yeah, I can see it.
Cassian's
Yeah.
got like a whole backstory of like why he hates the Empire and why he's fighting. Yeah, you get the gist. And it does suck at the end that they sort of got killed off all the characters. It's like, oh, they could have like.
No, I
know,
like
left
that a
them.
lot. I like it.
I
It
like
made it
that.
feel so self. I love that a lot. It was so. It actually felt good when they all
It
died.
was a closed
Yeah.
book. It was a story
Yeah.
that ended. There's no chance for a sequel. They're all dead.
Yeah,
but it's
I
a
love
spin-off
that.
of a
So
story
when he's
anyway.
gonna go, oh,
Like-
I want a Jin Erso spin-off.
Yeah.
She's fucking dead. Okay, they finally killed someone in Star Wars.
Her whole
Yeah, to be
character
fair, you
arc
don't
was sort of
expect it.
her whole character
Except for
arc
Darth
was to,
Vader, no one has died.
That
And
is
Padme
sad.
died. Who the fuck?
Few
cares?
Ewoks
He
died.
died.
Padme died, but who cares? Yeah, apart from
Organ
that,
here. Whenever I watched a scene with
Obi-Wan
Padme,
isn't dead. Yoda isn't dead. The only really dead people is Colin Treebor and Ki-Adi Mundi, and those are the only dead bros we've got in Star Wars.
Dead bros.
when I
What about,
I see
Darth
Padme
Vader?
in the scene, all I can hear is Haza's voice. Like I can just hear it going Padme's room. I'm like, what the
No,
fuck?
let's not. Let's
Let's
not
not
talk
have that.
Yeah, that
Let's
was
never watch that.
funny, but it was
This is
well,
my
okay.
room for talking about non-sexual.
The C3PO.
Okay. But yeah, I like Cassian as a character, and I liked how ruthless he was as well. It was quite cool. And I like the way they talked about the kyber crystals as well being the power of the weapon. I mean, if you watch Rebels, you already know that, but I'm pretty sure Rebels... I know, it came out around the same time. Rebels was later on in some other seasons, I believe. But yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Fair enough. And obviously you have the kills Cassian. Then you have like the Jeddah as well. What do you guys think of Jeddah and the pilot as a whole?
I liked that planet actually because it was added into the original.
Another
Not the
sand
original.
planet.
I liked it. I liked it.
Another one.
To be fair,
This was
they
an
do
actual
do it a lot.
interesting sand planet.
There
Oh,
are
yeah.
more
Other
sand
ones were
planets
boring.
in Star Wars than there are deserts on Earth.
Bro,
Like, what the
the
fuck?
others are boring. This one actually had something interesting on it, which was cool
Tatooine's
scenery.
got. Okay,
Tatooine
Tatooine
looks
is
stupid.
No,
I hate
Tatooine
Tatooine.
is a it's a
Tatooine's got
desert,
two
right?
suns or something.
But it's got criminals.
The only thing that Jakku's
Yes.
known for is
It's
bloody,
a desert with criminals. Jakku
ruins.
is a sand planet, but it's got corpses on it.
Oh, Jakku's what? Okay, never mind. I don't remember Jeddah. I just remember Jakku. I got those two confused because they started with
Jakku's
J's.
the one with the corpses in the battle.
Yeah, you mean like the huge
That's from Force
space battle
Awakens.
that landed on it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the battle.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, I like
but they
Jakku.
don't do anything.
In Battlefront 2,
Yeah,
that was good to play in that battle. Anyway, obviously...
Yeah, you could also play it on Battlefront 1.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so Bodhi Rook gets thrown in, and Jin tries to... Well, she gets attacked by the rebels. Well, not attacked, but the stormtroopers get attacked. And then she escapes, and then gets like fucking knocked the fuck out by that by K2SO. Which, as a character, I like that droid a lot. I feel like
I
it
like that
sucks that he
droid.
died at the end. It's like, oh fuck. But you know, for a character perspective and just the whole film, it made sense for them all to die. I did like it. However, it is very tragic that they all died. But oh well. But
yeah, it's tragic.
I
but
loved
it's good. It's
I loved
fun.
K2SO's like sarcastic voice, like sarcasticness as well. It's just really funny. Anyway, then it goes to Yavin 4. I like the bit when you pan on Yavin 4, and then I believe it's the I don't know if it's the Rebel theme or the Force theme comes on, and I like the like they went back to Yavin 4. I mean, they had to. Anyway, I loved the bit where they obviously had they're talking to Jyn Erso, and then they found out who Jyn Erso was and all that, and Mon Mothma was sort of talking into like making like joining the rebellion as well, and I guess giving a bit of backstory for Saw Gerrera as well, even though we already know him from the Clone Wars. But
Well, I like how he explains the stupid shit from a new.
Stupid what?
It explains something really stupid from.
Like what?
That's good.
Yeah.
The fact the exhaust port was dumb.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, they didn't really explain it in Return of the Jedi, but I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah, it was dumb. To the point where like people parody it.
Yeah. Like Family Guy.
People parody
Yeah, like,
it.
you get comedy shows
thankfully
talking
you
about
didn't
all
put
the
any
time.
big holes in there, did you? Oh, of course not. Oh, wait, we did.
Yeah.
It's
Find
like,
a fucking hole.
anyway, then obviously Jyn also gets talked into going off to fucking Jeddah, which I like. And it's sort of like I guess it's sort of like I wouldn't say feud, but a sort of what's the fucking word? Like not a rivalry, but a bit of a
Conflict?
that's it. That's the fucking word.
Rivalry.
No, not rivalry. Anyway, but yeah, I like the fucking hell conflict between Jyn and Cassian about killing father in different orders, I guess. And then
I
you
also
obviously go to
dislike
the
killing people.
partisan base on Jeddah, and you see that Saw Gerrera and like his group is a sort of almost like ISIS to a certain extent. And obviously, I have Saw Gerrera, who I liked Saw Gerrera's opening as well. Like all of a sudden, lies. It's like what? Holy shit! But yeah, I did like Saw Gerrera's opening bit, and I thought Saw Gerrera was a bit extreme. It was like, oh, he's a liar, throw him in.
He's really violent.
Oh, okay, all right. I love the bit when he goes, "Poor gullet."
Very
And we're like,
violent, man.
What amazed me was how like disgusting fucking that poor gullet thing was. Holy crap! What the fuck is that? It reminds me of that bloody creature in The Force Awakens, that
It's
like
tentacle
tentacle
porn.
thing.
The director a tentacle porn fetish, and it's just that. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I explained it.
And obviously you have like the tentacle bit, like yeah, it's like
It's-
that creature in The Force Awakens, which I've no idea what the name of that thing was. Anyway,
The big thing.
the big thing, yeah, pretty much. And obviously, I loved the bit with the Star Destroyer like coming behind the Death Star. That was so fucking sick. I loved the bit like the thing
Oh, I
being
love the
installed.
CGI. The space
Oh,
CGI.
perfect.
Was really...
And obviously, I love that Tarkin returned, but he's not actually the actual actor who plays him because obviously he died. But the CGI for him was amazing. Like, he looked exactly like the real person.
I didn't like that CGI.
He looks real. He looked real, which was weird.
Yes.
He did look real, but I
all
didn't
of
like
their
it.
CG budget on him and none on what's it? Fucking Leia.
Well, yeah, I did like the whole scene with the whole Death Star scene, like it's so fucking good, and the beam like thing being put on top as well, which is great. Anyway, I love the way Grand Moff Tarkin was just so most unfortunate. Like it just anything with him and it's just great.
Yeah, he's fantastic. The overdubbing is good. It actually fits his mouth.
But anyway, you after that scene, Tarkin watches the super laser being set into place, which I thought was so good. And then you obviously have like the dream that Jin gets when like she sees the Imperial like officer with and sees that Galen's a friend to Orson Krennic with a younger Krennic, I guess. Anyway, and then obviously they wake up and end up in Jeddah. Which what do you guys think of? Well, actually no, the Jeddah city actually, the holy city of Jeddah.
It looked cool.
Yeah.
It did look cool. Star Wars always does a great job about making things look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if they're dumb, or you think, oh, that shouldn't exist. You go, that looks cool. Everything looks cool.
Yeah.
It always looks cool.
Yeah, I don't think there's a debate over if Star Wars looks cool.
No.
But
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the city was very exotic, and it just looked looked good.
that's a good word for it.
It fit the planet area, I guess. And obviously, before you saw the parts and base is actually like an old Jedi tomb from the looks of it, or like a temple or something. But anyway, and obviously you see they're taking all the kyber crystals from the temple because we obviously know what they're built, what it powers, and yeah. Then you have the whole boar gullet thing, and which I kind of thought was interesting, and I thought, holy crap, what's gonna happen to that poor guy?
Yeah, I like the idea of there being someone.
One thing that I don't understand is how Saw Gerrera got the creature inside that base. I don't know. That's interesting, but yeah. And then you obviously have the rebellion scene. Then you have Cassian when he goes, "Rebellions are built on hope," which Jin uses later on. Nice bit of character development, I would say. And you see you see how the stormtroopers are beating the shit out of the population. And what I liked with Shira Inway is like I don't know. I feel like he was like he had the Force, but I don't know. I feel like he must have had the Force, but anyway. And Shira reminded me very much of like Kanan as well. Anyway, Shira as a character, I really liked him. Anyway, they go off on their way, and then all of a sudden the attack begins. What do you guys think of that scene as well? The battle sequence in the city, guys. Hello.
Yeah, same.
No, I can hear him. Okay. I can't hear your boy if you're talking right now. I cannot hear you.
I can hear him.
Can you? I can't for some fucking reason. Okay. Why can't I hear him?
What?
I couldn't hear him.
No.
Oh, I can hear you now.
I'm fine.
There we go.
For some reason, I just couldn't hear you. I don't know why that was. Okay. Anyway,
That's very weird.
what do you guys think of the battle sequence in the city as well?
I thought that was really cool.
Battle sequence in the city. Yeah, I love the idea of them making it look like there are more troops than there actually are.
Yeah. That was nice.
Yeah, it's good, cool.
The battles, like everything I've said, they always look nice.
Yeah, they do. Always. The CGI
No one's
is
ever going to say, wow, that battle looked really lazy done.
perfect.
Yeah,
So,
they always put maximum effort, maximum
They
budget
do, yeah.
into it.
Even with Last Jedi, they did a great scene with that the opening scene as well. Despite the criticisms we got for that movie, but anyway, yeah, we had that whole battle scene, which I thought I like the fact that Jin is sort of I don't know, she's a kind. It's almost like Han Solo for a certain extent. Like she's kind, but she's more selfless than anyone else. Yeah, I guess is a way to describe it. And then you have like the scene where they run away. Then the stormtroopers stop them, and then all of a sudden the Chirrut comes over, let them pass in peace. And then I did love that whole fight bit between like Kim beating the shit out of the stormtroopers. and to be fair, it makes the stormtroopers think, how fucking stupid are these two people? They have a blaster. They don't shoot him. They just let him hit him in the head with a stick. That was a bit.
They just sort of stood still while he walked up to them and bashed them on the head.
Yeah.
Individually.
No.
It was really pathetic.
It was a bit
sad.
But yeah, anyway.
Their body would react in the same way if they got hit by the armor with the armor.
And then after that you get
But without it didn't seem to detect them at all.
Then you get Baze with his with that gun he had. I don't know what the name of that gun is, but it was quite a cool little gun.
Yeah.
It's almost like Lando's pistol in Battlefront 2. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
So you have then you have they get arrested by the Sorgro, and then what I found it really funny is that they put a sack over Chirrut's head, and he goes, "Are you kidding me? I'm blind." I found that really funny.
Yeah, that was good.
And then obviously after that they get to the base, and yeah, and Jin speaks to Saw Gerrera, and then there's a bit of amnesty between the two of them because obviously Saw Gerrera left her in a fucking hole. It's like, here you go, have a bloody blaster, bye. it was like, okay, fair enough. It explains that Saw Gerrera did this to protect his own people, which makes sense. Anyway, after that, they get the sequence between that. You find that Jin's father, Galen, he's put a hole in the Death Star, which explains the whole fuel exhaustion thing in A New Hope and how it blown up so
it
fucking
tries to
easily.
explain A New Hope.
Attempts.
That's the problem with Star Wars. It's like they filmed it
trying to
all
go,
over the
look,
place.
this thing in A New Hope, it was real.
Yeah, that's the thing with Star Wars. Is that it's filmed everywhere. Like there's plot holes. That's like huge plot holes is the main problem. That's that because of the way they laid it all out in the film. Yeah. Anyway, then Jin's showing her she doesn't give a shit about the rebellion. It's not a problem if you don't look up about the whole Imperial flag as well. Which and then you see this sequence where she was sort of upset to see her father. Obviously, she hadn't seen her father for since the last time, since I'm saying 10, 15 years ago, the last time she saw her father. Now obviously you go back to the Death Star, and all that with then you met the mention of the Emperor is awaiting my report, and Vader as well. I still find it funny with Tarkin going, I thought it might be prudent to save from any potential embarrassment, which again I thought was kind of funny. And then you see the again conflict between Tarkin and Krennic saying, this is my thing, not his. And obviously you have like the firing at the city, which gets blown to shit. What do you guys think of the like Death Star blowing up a city?
Oh no, that was cool.
Yeah, same.
I thought I wasn't sure if they were gonna blow up the whole planet or they were just
Right, I just want to see shit get blown up.
yeah. It's very fun.
Yeah,
And I
just wanna
love
see
the
shit get blown up.
CGI. If you look at the explosion in A New Hope, and then you look at the explosion of this, it looks so much better. Obviously, obviously it was like
Yeah.
so many years ago. But anyway, and they talk about the whole message thing and all that business. And K2SO saves them on a U-wing, and obviously you have like the scene where Saw Gerrera dies, which almost reminded me of that scene in The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones, when the guy just stands there as the whole temple collapses, which is almost what happened with Saw Gerrera. Which I guess you could say it's a reference because they were in a desert temple, the same as Indiana Jones, but yeah. And obviously they escape, and Krennic going, "Oh, it's beautiful," which is another fucking meme. It's almost like the most of Star Wars nowadays is like known for its memes. Like you can't watch the scene without thinking about the meme. Anyway, they go off on the ship and head off to I believe it's the hell's it called? I forgot the name of the fucking place. I'm gonna find it. Oh, that's it, Edu. That's it. I remember. And obviously after that scene, you have like the rebellion saying, "Tell them to receive with haste and kill Galen Erso," which is again, it's a bit of a thing in the cinema. You're thinking, "Oh, don't do that. That's a bad. Don't do that," kind of thing. It makes you annoyed that someone's doing something that he shouldn't be doing. But yeah, that's just films for you. And then a bit where Krennic shouting at Tarkin, going, "This is my achievement, not yours." I'm pretty sure that's a meme as well.
Oh yeah, no, that's a meme as well.
Yeah. And
Everything he says is a meme.
yeah. Anyway, and you get the idea that Bodhi is sort of like he's Galen's friend, like he knows they know each other, which is I guess like that. Anyway, they have that whole scene talking about, and there's still a bit of amnesty between Cathy and Jin, going, "You don't believe me, and I'm not the one you got to convince," and all that. Which I guess you could say it's amnesty towards the entire rebellion, but there you go. And obviously they have the whole thing where Cassian's going to go assassinate Galen, but obviously he holds his shot and doesn't do it because he
Sorry for being muted. I went to get more grapes.
Oh, well that's understandable. Obviously you have the you have like the thing where he doesn't shoot Galen. Not to mention you have K2SO going. There's a 5% chance of failure, 26% chance going up. It's just really funny. A very funny fucking droid as well. And he's not as annoying as C-3PO in that sense. He's like, he's entertaining. With C-3PO, it's just like, oh, you really have to be so fucking stupid.
The droids were cool in this movie. They felt like they actually had some brain power.
Yeah, if droids had autism, C-3PO would definitely have had it. Right.
Yeah, I think C-3PO is purposely stupid.
Yeah.
That's his like I don't know. I guess maybe you could say because Anakin made him, he's stupid. Because Anakin made some stupid decisions, especially in fucking Revenge of the Sith. Oh, let's kill Mace Windu. Anyway, he did it for love, and then they go off and they sort of like split themselves up and chase up, go after Jin and all that. And then obviously you have the scene where Krennic arrives and brings forth the and then it shows how ruthless Krennic is. He shot the fucking engineers without a fucking hesitation. And was about the probably would have shot Krennic. Galen had the rebels not blown up the ship. Obviously you have the bit of Galen, like you have Galen's kindness, stepping forward, willing to take his own life instead of watching his friends and engineers die. They were innocent, so they didn't deserve to die. Anyway, Then you have the rebel pilot where they about to fire, and obviously they're already down on the they're already in like fucking battle position anyway. So yeah. Anyway, then you have Galen still standing up for his beliefs and saying that the Empire is a load of shit. You'll never win. Now, where have I heard that before? Which is something his wife said.
Not all thoughts are worthy thoughts.
And obviously you have to they have the battle sequence, which is sad because Jin spent so much time apart from her father, then finally finds him and he dies. It's sort of like a fuck you in that sense. Which
Does
is
seem
sad.
like
What?
Yeah, it seems like almost one of the only turning points in her character, because she goes from like, oh, I don't really care about rebellion to, oh, we got to blow up the Death Star in like one scene.
Yeah. And it's sort of change. It's sort of from that moment, Jin's character changes. If you notice. Obviously, after
One of the bad
But she can't change for long because she's dead.
Well, she changes before that, just before the battle of.
Does it really
Battle of
count?
Scarif. I guess, because
No.
Jin was like, "Oh, I'm not going to help the rebellion," but she did instead. And it makes it even sadder when he goes, "I have so much to tell you," and then dies. It's like, oh fuck, you know. God damn it! And obviously, also Bodhi Rook as well, being like for the Empire, and then shoots, like he proves himself a rebel by shooting the Imperials, which is what I liked. And yeah, then you have like
there have been a lot of Imperial defectors in the movies and in other things,
fucking hell,
like rebels.
and
They're just defecting left and right.
and bloody that captain in was it Battlefront 2 as well, and the Iden Versio for like just going to the rebellion. It's like, oh really? Okay. Which is kind of sucks. But anyway, then you have the whole Cassie and Jin Erso having a shout at each other, which we obviously we saw coming. I mean, we knew they were going to have a go at each other at some point. But yes, and then also the bit that I really fucking liked out the whole film is when they went to Mustafar to see fucking Darth Vader's castle, which I thought was holy fucking shit. That was awesome. What do you guys think of that whole fucking scene, the whole bit with Vader? What do you guys think of that?
Be afraid to choke on your aspiration.
Yeah. But what do you all think of that as
Never
a
knew Darth
sequence?
Vader was kinky.
All right, he's fucking serious.
That was a nice sequence. I liked his castle.
Yeah, I wish we got seen more of that in this would been really cool. Or no, that's something we should have seen in. I mean, we technically saw it in the Rise of Skywalker, but we should have like seen the actual castle. Like we should have had a scene of Kylo Ren going inside the castle at least.
Of course.
But anyway,
You know what we should have seen?
what?
We should have seen Kylo Ren attempt to force choke somebody and then just fail. Just fail at a force choke.
That scene in Rise of Skywalker doesn't work. It's like fuck.
Literally anyone could force choke though, isn't that like the point? It's like a really fucking easy and cheap.
Yeah,
dark
but he
side.
can't do it because he's weak.
Yeah,
It's like a cheap and easy.
It would show his
why
confidence. I
Anakin
guess.
wasn't trained to do it, can just do it.
Oh yeah, he could just do it. Yeah. But I like the bit where we
He
saw
just
Vader
told him
inside his like back to tank as well, which is interesting. And obviously the bit when when Vader comes out the like gate and then it goes out to meet Krennic. I thought that, and the fucking Imperial March theme as well. Like it was just fucking so good.
Do we need to do the song again?
What song? Anyway.
Wait, why are you guys going to do stuff?
All right. Okay.
What?
So Vader, I loved
It
hearing.
was a joke for those with high IQ.
Alright, shut up. Okay,
Oh,
Vader.
no,
You were saying duh. Melkor says dunna.
Vader, as I loved hearing fucking hell, I've forgotten his name. James L. Jones. Sorry, I'm gonna get a load of fucking comments for getting that wrong. But you watch, probably not. But But yeah, I love that scene as well, which is Vader talking, just being an absolute just like 100 IQ player, like beat brain time. It's perfect. And obviously, I like the bit with Yavin 4. Obviously, the bit with Vader. When Vader walks off the scene, you have the whole Imperial March, which is fucking amazing. Obviously, you have Yavin 4 like all gathering, like we you know, like bickering about fighting for war and not a suicide pact and all that as well. Eventually, that whole scene with Jin sort of going. What chance do we have? The question is, what choice? Run, hide. I love that scene as well. And obviously the rebellion is sort of half and half, but eventually they all like, right, we do it. But that scene though, when they were bitching about it, it's sort of like made redundant when they agreed to do it later on.
Big word.
Very much.
Anyway,
I feel like they tried
Mythic
to.
was uploaded. Guys, my favorite YouTuber Mythic uploaded.
oh my god. Anyway,
I would
don't know
never
what to
upload
do.
mid
another
podcast.
cool
I would
thing.
never upload mid podcast.
Another cool thing is that you hear
like-
General Synthula, who obviously in Rebels you will know who she is, and then you actually in the scene where you're sort of panning out, you see the ghost in the background as well, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyway, it's a nice little
pretty scary.
nice little notion to her.
I'm
scared.
scared.
I love the
They
scene where it's all sort of like, we're gonna believe you, we're all gonna fight with you and all that. That was and Cassian's sort
Whenever I
of
see the
monologue as
ghost,
well.
I get it.
I hear people.
I feel like the scene with like rebellions are built on hope and all of that. They tried to make it like the sort of inspirational scene of the film.
Yeah.
I think it partly worked, but
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's as memorable as other scenes.
No. Certainly not the end scene with Vader, but anyway. And I like the bit where they're all going off, and then suddenly you have they're on their all
That
heading
is
off
better
and all
than
that.
the entire film.
Then you have
To be honest,
R2.
it's the best moment in Star Wars.
Then you have
I'd
the
rather
bit with
watch
guys,
that over
come on.
anything.
We had the bit of R2 and C3 going.
No,
They
we're
never
skipping
invite
to the
us.
final scene. We're skipping to the final scene.
No, we're not skipping
Frozen,
to the
we're
final
skipping
scene.
to the
Shut
final
the fuck
scene.
up.
Best bit of the film.
Be quiet.
The best bit in the film.
Anyway.
As well as Democratic vote.
He's right.
I just want to
It's
spend the
best
next
scene.
It is
3
the best.
hours talking about
Oh,
that
for
scene.
fuck's sake! Right, okay.
Yeah,
Let's finish off on this Yavin 4, then we can talk about that. Anyway, we have the bit with Mon Mothma going to Bail, going, "Your friend the Jedi," and I love the bit of the sort of Obi-Wan theme in the background. I was like, "Oh, yay!" They mentioned him, which is awesome. And obviously, she goes, "You'll need someone you trust," and Bail goes, "I would trust for my life," talking about Leia. Then the Leia theme as well, which is another cool little thing I liked about it as well. And then you have the bit where Jin's heading off, and then they go, "What is your call sign?" And it's like Rogue One.
You're just getting talked
the whole
over.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Dad will
Anyway.
beat you if you're not silent.
China shop.
Dad will beat you.
Right.
That's a plot explanation.
Then they go off into the they go to like fight all the Oh, your boy's killed himself.
Oh, he's dead. You've done it now.
Oh shit! This is where the fun
Why?
begins. Anyway,
Oh,
the
he's
battle. What
alive.
do you guys think of the Battle of Scarif scene? I thought that was fucking amazing, personally.
Which battle is this?
Battle
This
of
is the
Scarif.
Sky one.
What?
That was cool with the.
I like the sky one
shooting
because
another
they were in the sky.
pushing
The whole Battle of Scarif scene on the
Uh,
land and on
part
in
of
the
the
space as
Skywalker
well.
saga.
What?
The Skywalker saga.
Skywalker.
Sky,
What the
sky.
fuck? What's your name? What's your
Skywalker
They
name?
need to name.
Sky.
They need to name
Skywalker.
A child Sky. They need to be Skywalker.
Fucking.
Sky.
Who are you? Who are you? Sky.
It was
Who?
great.
Skywalker.
Skywalker, as in like first name Sky, second name Walker.
All right,
is
we
a
have
real
like
name.
20 minutes left till the hour finishes, so we need to get through this quickly.
Why are
yes.
we doing an hour on one
I don't
film? Are
fucking
we
know.
not?
Well, I told you it would be like an hour.
We used to be able to do 3 films in an hour.
Yeah, that
Why?
never
Yeah, we
happened.
used to do
We've
3
slowed.
films in an hour. We
We've
would.
slowed with age.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not
We
a
have. We're not
particularly
too
big
long.
start
film.
explaining the entire plot of the film. So
Anyway, right, okay.
We're
okay.
spoiling the
People can-
film.
Right, we're making.
Okay, we're doing a service for the blind people who can't actually go and see Star Wars, so we just explain them the plot in the form of podcast.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
moving
hope
on.
you're going to put a
First
spoiler alert at
podcasts
the
were
start.
almost as long as
No,
a
I know
feature
put
length
spoiler
episode.
alerts on. Yeah, I mean, why would you watch a podcast if you haven't watched the film? It's just really silly. Anyway,
Yeah, fair enough, but we don't need to. It doesn't need to be an equivalent for watching the film. It shouldn't take just as long to.
all right, enough the bickering. Let's go. Okay, so the Scarab scene I thought was just awesome. I love the bit with the battles.
We're in the battle of
they're,
Scarab. We're almost.
Are you fucking okay?
Nah.
It suffers from
Kinda
autism, I
did.
think, sadly. Okay. So yeah, I
Oh.
like the
Wow.
I can't remember the Hammerhead Corvette like crashing into the Star Destroyer. That was fucking awesome.
That was a nice scene.
No,
They do great ship battles. Their
They always
ship
do.
battles are awesome.
The battle scene on the
This
This
ground
was
was
episode
also
episode
pretty
3's
cool.
one with more textures and more ship. It's
Yeah.
retextured.
But yeah, the battles on the ground was awesome as well. There's not too much to really say about that. It's just a lot of fighting and the odd reference now here and then. But yeah, they're obviously getting to Radis's Admiral Radis as well as another character I thought was reminded me very much of like Admiral Akbar, but I guess there are some differences. I guess Radis is more hands down, I guess. But yeah, that whole scene was pretty good as well. The whole fight scene. And then something they mentioned as well in the scene is when they're looking for the Death Star plans in the it's a bloody what the fuck is it called? The not comms tower, and I've just dropped my phone on the floor. The Oracle fucking thing, the archive thing. I don't fucking know what it's called. And then they do whatever, I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Then they mention something about light speed travel as well, which is a reference to it's a almost foreshadowing to a Last Jedi as well. Anyway, yeah, that's another thing I found cool.
Could someone please clip every time that Frozen says anyway?
Anyway. Oh, that would take a lot of time. I don't think I have that
I
much
say that
time.
a lot.
It
To be
takes a
fair.
while to make because there's so many.
All the time, I had to say it in my videos as well. I was like, anyway, guys, moving on. But I
Okay,
must
so,
cut down
anyway.
on that. Yep, you may speak.
Anyway. Who's speaking? Are we being granted scepters of justice? What's going on?
Can I actually talk? Am I allowed to speak?
Are we allowed
No, you
to
cannot speak. Haha. But I like the bit when Tarkin goes, "You may fire when ready."
I like the bit where Tarkin goes as well. I went with him.
Yes, I wish I did too.
Tarkin got sick of it. The film's shit. And just walked back. He just left. Tarkin just went straight up left. He just Tarkin goes. He just leaves.
Anyway,
fuck you,
the
I'm
explosion.
dead. I'm gonna leave.
Frozen. Haza's playing Medieval 2.
Oh, for fuck's sake, really? I'm not going to join the
Haza's playing
podcast,
Medieval 2.
but I'll play Medieval 2. Sorry, guys. I'm going to be spending time with my brother. Nope.
Oh my god.
Anyway, fuck that guy.
The land of
Fuck him.
lies. The land of lies.
Fuck him. Anyway, moving on. Obviously, you have the bit with the explosion on Scarif, which I thought was good, and it was a good sequence of the death scene between them all dying, one at a time, as well. Which I like. I thought their death scenes were fairly accurate, fairly good, well done. And obviously, Krennic gets his comeuppance.
Made me sad.
Yeah, Krennic gets his comeuppance and gets shot, and then like he looks up at the Death Star, and Tarkin it's almost looking at him, thinking, "Haha, fuck you," and just blows him up. Which I thought the explosion was good as well. And obviously after that, I think we all know what's coming. All right, you may speak if you would like to add anything.
I can speak? Bruh, freedom of speech! Frozen sucks!
Go on, hurry up. Hurry the fuck up.
Oh, he's left.
Oh, it's over. Sorry, you're over now. That's it.
No.
Your boy's turn.
We ran out
No.
of time.
It's your boy's turn to speak.
Guys, Tarkin's out. Tarkin's out. He just goes, man. He just goes.
Mythic is out.
Well, you say that in all your videos.
Tarkin goes.
Mythic
man.
out.
Tarkin goes. Oh my
yeah,
god,
I
he's starting
I reckon this mod will be
started
better
the hot
than
seat.
Lucium. Mythic out.
Which mod is this? Is this the Tarkin goes out mod?
Fucking hell. There should be a
Why did he
submod for
name
that.
it Start? He didn't even name what faction it was. He just said Start.save.
What?
He didn't tell us who's first.
Okay.
Who's
I-
first?
Okay, this has gone long enough. Let's wrap this up.
Me,
Let's wrap
from
this up.
Scotland.
All right, we're wrapping this up. Okay. Obviously with the
Oh,
Vader
one
scene,
thing.
which was amazing. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, the Vader scene.
Yeah, Vader did some stuff in that movie.
What do you guys
He
think?
did.
Of,
He
what do you guys
did. He was
think of
twirling
that scene?
his little laser sword around,
Laser sword.
and then he pulled out his sonic screwdriver and then
What
got
the
into the
fuck?
TARDIS.
What?
Then he flew away with Tarkin
What
as
the
they go.
What?
And that was my favorite season of Star Trek.
What the fuck? Okay, obviously the scene between Vader was amazing. The fucking
Anyway.
breathing. Shut the fuck up. The breathing, as well, was awesome. And it's just and it's like the tense, like it's almost like a horror film, and all of a sudden like fucking it happens. It's like you just hear the breathing, all of a sudden the lightsaber lights, and it's like they're fucked. They're fucked. And obviously they die fairly fucking easily. And then after that, they escape, and then Leia, and then you see a scene of Leia, which I thought the CGI was alright for that. I like this fact that Leia goes, well, one line. They probably paid like $1 million for that one
Leia
line.
doesn't look real. She looks like a toy. Or
Yes,
something.
ladies and gentlemen,
Talking
the
either.
Lucium Dev #1 for his incessant whiny comments. Moving on. Obviously, I like the
Doesn't
scene
look
with Leia
real.
going Hope, and I thought that was a nice little scene. And
She
then
doesn't
the
look
film ends there.
real. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Neither does
because she's
Tarkin.
dead.
Tarkin goes, okay, and he looks good.
He
Why
doesn't.
doesn't?
He's scary.
Why can't Leia look good?
Dead.
Okay, guys. Right, you may rate it. Rate what rates you would like to give it. You can. Do it now. All right.
7 out of 10.
Tell you what. Let me know what you like think of the film before you give it a rate. Before you do
I
so.
liked it. It looked cool.
It looked cool. All right. Arpy, what do you think of this?
I'd say 8 out of 10. It's the best of the modern ones, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Although I did like Solo, but yeah.
I give it a I give it a 9. I haven't
I-
watched it very, very recently, but I remember thinking I've seen it 3 times, and every single time I thought it's my second favorite Star Wars.
No.
What's your first favourite?
Revenge of the Sith.
I mean, it's all our Revenge of the Sith is like.
I think Rogue One is better than the entire original trilogy.
I'm
and
gonna
the
give it
sequel
a.
trilogy.
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I think as well. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
really have a
give it
reason
9,
for
just
that.
I gave 9.5 to Revenge.
The reason I'm giving it an 8 is because some scenes weren't that great. Some were a bit too convenient as well, which is a bit really. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it for this podcast. The next thing we'll do next will likely be probably one of the script things, unless we talk about the Clone Wars or.
We need to
Rebels
get a
or
big
whatever.
cast of people for that one.
Oh, we do.
Big cast.
We need to I think we'll probably do it
Yes.
next week or something. But anyway,
Yes, okay.
thank you all for watching. It's been fairly long.
Yeah. Thanks
And,
for coming around.
Yep. And
Yeah,
we'll
hope
see you guys.
Stay.
Yeah, but
Really,
Subscribe
please
to Frozen
stay.
Stag.
yeah.
Stop
Subscribe,
leaving.
subscribe
Stay.
to Mythic. And
Please.
subscribe
Watch
to,
us. We're desperate. Please keep watching.
Frozen feeds us by how many subs he gets per video.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He doesn't get enough likes. We get thrown in the
Please
face.
stay.
Again. It's like that bit in Toy Story 3 when they put them in the sand pit.
I'm begging you, please stay.
yeah, subscribe, like, share. You get the gist. Anyway, guys, I
Please
thank
like
you.
the video.
Comment.
Again, this has been the Mumar Al-Shikawi podcast, and thank you for coming out.
I've been Abdulaziz. Welcome to Saudi Arabia, and goodbye from the podcast.
Allahu Akbar.
What a way to end it.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
Allahu
Thank you,
Akbar.
thank you for watching,
Yes.
and we shall see
Yes,
you
yes.
later.